Hi, my name is Robert Chelle with Chelle Law, and my law firm assists social media influencers with management contract issues. Today, I'm going to talk about exclusive management contract non-competes. In any kind of contract, there can be what's called restrictive covenants, and these are things that in this case, influencer cannot do after the contract ends. So let's just take a physician, for example. They could have a non-competition clause that would then say they can't work as a doctor within 10 miles of their office for 1 year. Well, obviously, as an influencer, that doesn't make any sense as you are all over the place and you're not in one specific location. So what management companies do, and this would be agency, an individual agent, individual manager, anyone who has an exclusive contract with the influencer to go out and find deals and negotiate with them. There will be a clause in there that states the influencer cannot contract with any sponsor that they did business with while with the management company for a period of time. And I'll just do an example. So let's say you are a skin company reaches out to the influencer and states, we'd like to have some kind of relationship. And then they go through your management company and they negotiate the deal. Then the management company comes back to you and says, are you interested? You say, great. You work with them for 2 years. Well, let's say at some point you don't want to use the same management company anymore and you decide to terminate the agreement. So the agreement ends. Well, there's going to be a clause in there that states you won't be able to work with that skin company for usually it's 1 year. Or if you decide to continue to work with that company, you'll still have to pay your old management company whatever the commission percentage was during the term of the agreement. Most of the time, that commission percentage is going to be 20% or at least around 20%. So even after you terminate the contract and even after that management company is no longer managing you, you're still going to have to pay that commission fee to them if you decide to stay with the same brands for usually, as I said before, a year after the contract is terminated. Now, what can you negotiate? Two things. One, you can negotiate how long that kind of restrictive period lasts. As I said, if it's 1 year, maybe knock it down to 6 months or 3 months or whatever. Or over time, you can try to get that commission percentage reduced. So for instance, let's say for the first 3 months, it's 20, for the second 3 months, it's 15, then 10, then 5, some way of decreasing the amount of money that you have to pay to your old management company. Now, the reason why the management company does this is they don't want to set up a bunch of deals for an influencer and then have the influencer bolt, and then they takes the brands that they got from the management company and the management company gets no compensation for that. I mean, that's honestly not fair. But how long after the contract ends, the influencer has to pay back to the management company? Well, that needs to be fair as well. And is 1 year fair? I don't know. It's debatable. Another thing you could think about is, the language may say any company that you've worked with while with the management company. So maybe you've worked with them for 5 years and you terminate the agreement. You haven't worked with the brand for 4 years. And then the brand comes back to you and says, hey, do you want to, create a relationship again? Well, unless you limit the language in that contract, you may have to pay the management company for an entire year for a brand you haven't worked with in a very long time. So what you want to do is have what's called a lookback period. And so if the contract states you're going to have to pay, for a year, any brand that we've brought to you, you want to limit it to a period of time. So usually it would say in the last 12 months. At least that's what I would do. That way, if you've worked for a brand 4 years ago, they can't come back at you and say, I know you haven't worked with them for a very long time, but we made the introduction. You worked with them while you were had a relationship with the management company, so you still owe us the 20%. So if you can limit that to a year, all of those brands that you work with in the past could come back, and then you wouldn't have to pay the management fee to your old manager. which is pretty annoying for most influencers. All right. So if you have any questions, feel free to call my law firm at the phone number listed below in the description, or you can reach us through our website, chellelaw.com. If you thought this video was helpful, please like, subscribe to the channel. We release videos every single day. Appreciate you watching the video. Thanks.